got a chance to see Squid Game Season 2, Part 1. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zenka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And we're starting into 2025, and I just got off the phone with another producer. So we're keeping our fingers crossed on a bunch of little things that might be coming in. And I might be crowdfunding one of my horror movies. We just got off the phone with talking about possible cast and stuff like that. So we shall see. Keeping my fingers crossed across the board. Trying to get some stuff going. But yeah, let's jump into the Squid Game Part 2 here. Season 2 and Part 1. Why it's only Part 1, I don't know. Why didn't they get the whole... Maybe they're still editing the last part of the season. I don't know. But the original writer-director comes back, and I will not even try to say some of these Korean names. Hwang Dong-hyuk. I don't even know how to pronounce anything here. And straight off the most popular Star Wars show ever, The Acolyte, comes Lee Jung-jae, who's coming back playing Seong, and he definitely looks a lot older here than he did in the first season for sure. I don't know if the original thing was done so many years ago and just got released to the States, where it was, something that was delayed. So obviously not a lot of years have passed, but he definitely looks a lot, quite older. So we have Lee Byung-hun, who comes back as the guy with the black mask. And I'm like, damn, I've seen this guy before. He's done American movies. In fact, he did The Magnificent Seven. I really like him a lot. He has a very intense look. And I love the little fight scene that he had with one of the bullies over there, the rapper, who for sure was the most annoying character, playing Thanos. What I do like is that it was a reference to the Avengers. I'm like, are they just using Thanos, or is it actually referencing the American film, right? American set of films. And she actually says, did you get all your Infinity Stones? I'm like, okay, wow, you're actually going there. And then he shows his nails, and they're all the colors of the Infinity Stones. I thought that was pretty interesting. But he was absolutely the most horrific character I have ever seen. And to see him, I don't know if I want to go into spoilers here, but yeah. I am going to go into some plot points, though, so get ready for that. So if you haven't seen any of it yet, you might want to come back, because I am going to do some plot points about what I liked and what I didn't like about this season. So I think the writers did a generally good job, or the writer. I can't imagine him writing all these episodes by himself. But I liked, because there are certain, obviously, when you're doing a sequel called Squid Game, kind of like what you're doing when they were writing, Hunger Games, they have to include the games or you have no show, right? There's no connection. And obviously the expectation of the audience is that, yeah, we're going to see some horrific games. And, the game that, I found most horrific in the very first season was the glass floor thing. That one there was, I think, the most horrific. Where here, it was, I don't know, it wasn't really anything that was, over the top, I thought. Like Saw. None of it was like that in this one. Where with the glass floor portion of it, I felt, that they were basically sacrificing themselves to give the next person the knowledge that they need to get to the next step. So I I thought that was pretty crazy. Here we have the five little mini games. We get the red light, green light again, which they had to do because that was like the staple. And obviously, they put together all the sets back as they were. I can't imagine this not being on a soundstage. With the amount of stuff they had to create, and we finally get to see that stairway. I love how Netflix used the stairway to make the end in the very beginning with the logo. I thought that was really cool. But we get to see that actual stairway get used, which I was very happy about the fact that they had this used. But I have some questions about the logic of some of this. So the whole beginning is about Seong trying to get back, trying to shut the games down. He's spending a portion of his fortune, said that 100 times fast, to shut the games down. But the main guy is intrigued by this because he's under the impression that people are generally evil. I guess it takes one to know one, I guess. But I I think that's the basis of this story is that are people generally evil and greedy? And when I say evil, the deadly sins, basically. And I think that generally the answer to what the writer is trying to get across is that when it comes down to it, yes, people are generally greedy and will sacrifice their lives for greed. Where they could have gone after the first thing where they saw people die, they could have easily all voted. And I love the fact that they added this whole voting portion to it because that is giving the writer the ammunition to show the problems with the human condition and how they will, if they the press their luck situation. This whole thing's turned into a press their luck thing because half the people want to get out and the other half are keeping them there. And I love how they literally put lines in the floor, glowing lines in the floor. First of all, physically, with lighting and everything else, it adds a dynamic to that room that wasn't there before. It also adds a lighting thing where we have the red and the blue. It was interesting that they made red, the basically the bad because red is normally like a color of anger and stuff like that, but that's people that wanted to get out. And blue, which is the more tranquil color, they used for the other one. So it was more of a mental thing as well. People will gravitate more towards blue than they will there towards red. So it's almost like a mental thing at that point. But yeah, I find it very interesting. And of course, people are killing each other to be able to continue playing the games where they could die. Very, very interesting juxtaposition. And then, of course, we have the cop and everything else trying to find him now, and there's no way they're going to find him. And, of course, they have a person betraying them from the inside, a person that I didn't expect, that we knew from, the first episode. It's very interesting. But my question is, so I forgot the guy's name who's playing the boss. I mean, I know the actor's name, but I don't know what the actual guy's name was because he says it, but it's not really registering with me. So anyway, obviously he's in the games himself, which we know right from the beginning. So he goes undercover to play the games, right? But his own people are not going to kill him. So if they failed, how would that go? Would they just kill everybody else? I don't know, or, I don't know. I don't know how that would work. Of course, the guy with his mother, boy, that guy is shit. He's really, really a piece of shit. To keep his own mother in the game. wow, that's bad news, man. There's no repercussion to that. And then of course we have the Marine guy. We had the best friend who was a former Marine who actually does know how to fight. And then we had the other Marine who may have just had an office job because when it comes down to really to fighting, he's lost. He is lost. And then you have the pregnant woman who coincidentally the baby daddy is also there. I wasn't really buying that. That was just a little bit too coincidental. And of course, once she's in there, she would be wanting to get out quick because she'd be dying for two. And of course, we have a trans person in there as well, but ends up being like a major in the military or whatever. I did like that whole battle going on, and I did like them, turning on the soldiers. And then we have the storyline with 11. It's funny that they chose the number 11, which is obviously made famous by Stranger Things. And I don't know why they chose the same number, but they have an offshoot. Since the boss is away kind of thing, the mice will play, and they're trying to make additional money by selling the organs off of the people that they're killing. But I guess their doctor actually needs the body to be alive and killed on the table so that they can freshly... how much time is literally going between them putting them in the box and getting the doctor? Probably not that much, but whatever the time limit is not enough. So she is against that. They like a mob, they jump on her and put her in line real quick. But I have no idea why we even have that storyline going on, because it has no bearing on anything for the first half of the season. It's just us getting a different point of view about the guards. That's it. That's the only reason for that thing to even exist. Anyway, before we wrap up, I just wanted to talk about my own comics and projects. So this is, as everybody knows, I'm a comic book writer as well as a novelist, etc., as I mentioned in the beginning. But this is my sci-fi series, Destiny Aurora. This is the graphic novel version. It's got some really great artwork in there. If you like sci-fi, it's a 4-novel series as well. This is an adaptation of the first novel. So it's got a quadrilogy to it, and it's also on Audible. So if you'd like a copy of that, let me know. We did get picked up for by a publisher, so we're actually going to be in stores as well. And then we have Lords of L.A. This is my vampire mob set in 1950s Hollywood. This is the second issue. This is the Katana cover. It is True Blood meets The Godfather. This is the first issue, so I have both issues. I also have all of this digitally as well, so if you don't want it shipped. And again, the artwork is really good in here. This is a very adult book as opposed to Lords of Destiny Aurora can be read by kids. This cannot. It's definitely got more of an adult blood, sex, gore type of situation. And since it takes place in the 50s, I also have Marilyn Monroe makes an appearance, and you can see the Nosferatu shadow back there, which they really didn't use in the movie. And this is the Werepanther. I have this one in a nude cover as well. This is the Samurai cover, and then this is the Helene cover. If you'd like a copy, let me know in the comments, and I can hook up with you there, or you can email me. Plus, we have connected with Moonstone Books. They are doing a Green Hornet anthology for its 50th anniversary celebration of the character. And this is not the actual book. This is one of the books they've done in the past. It's going to be a hardcover. And one of their main writers is Timothy Zahn, who created Thrawn for Star Wars. So if you like Timothy Zahn's stuff, definitely pick it up. We also have Kevin J. Anderson, who did Dune, the Dune books. He did some Star Wars stuff as well. Brandon Easton, who wrote for Agent Carter from Marvel. Bill Willingham. We got cover art by Matt Wagner, who did Batman and Grendel. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, just go to greenhornetnoir.com, or you can click the link in the description below. We're going to be launching at the end of the month, so just about 3 weeks from now. So definitely get signed up so we get notified about when we launch. All right, so let's jump back into Squid Game. So of course the first series had a novelty to it that this doesn't, right? Because we've seen it all before, but we still had additional scenes like outside of the games that were very interesting because we got to see the guy that was doing the recruiting. I thought he did a really, really good job in the scenes that he was in. He had two really good scenes. We had the rock, paper, scissors scene, which I had never heard of rock, paper, scissors -1. I had never heard of that. But I thought that scene was really good. And I think that the voice acting on the dub is decent. You know, I really don't. Once in a while I have a problem with it, but I thought they did a good job with casting for the most part. Sometimes they're so off it just takes you out of it. And occasionally I do get taken out of it, but most of the time I'm with it. And then we had the Russian roulette scene, which was pushing the envelope, I think, a little bit, but I liked it for the most part. So overall, I thought it was a good half a season. I think it is getting everything moving, and I think that the beginning was a little bit of a twist, and we got into the games, which was kind of a remake of the first, but we added a few little elements, and then by the end we went into like full action mode. And now and nobody's safe outside of Seong. Nobody's safe, so that's interesting that anybody can die at any given time. So overall, I'm probably going to give this an 8 out of 10. I was engaged with it, so I don't. And the fact that they have to have certain elements in there to have a sequel, and this is going to go into season 3. Now I don't know if this is going to be if part 2 is season 3 or if they're doing a full season 3. I don't know. But I noticed on IMDb that there are 3 seasons. So I don't know if it's season 3. But I know it's coming out just in a few months. Like 6 months from now or 5 months from now, they're going to release the second part. All right. Well, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Remember to give me a like. Give me a thumbs up if you can. And if you can, subscribe, please do. It's free and you'll get notified about when I do additional videos. Both on comics and on film and television. I try to have a little bit of fun with it. And yeah, thank you again, guys. Remember to check out the Green Hornet link or go to greenhornetnoir.com. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have an awesome week and Happy New Year, everybody.